Hey, welcome back to the Here's the Deal channel. I am of the opinion that the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are still, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. I noticed that James Freeman uploaded this video yesterday and the title of it is Cops Help Stranded Motorist to Death. And he's talking about this police body cam video from the YouTube channel Police Activity. And what I wanted to do, because James did a fantastic job on this video exposing the evils of the badged uniform law enforcement agents, but I wanted to highlight that with what the lemmings are saying about the law enforcement agents. You know, the blue bootlickers, and we call them bootlickers for a reason. It's like the problem with this world is not so much that there are tyrants and there are law enforcement agents going out there and enforcing the opinions of politicians with the threat of force. The problem is that there are millions and millions of people who applaud the chains of their own oppression and who want this tyranny to come down on them because they think it's creating a safer environment, and the exact opposite is happening. This Stanley Jordan right here under the police accountability or police activity pinned comment says, I've learned one thing as a street cop for 17 plus years. When it's time to use force, be quick and effective. There's no time to be two-stepping with these suspects or playing nice. Well, he wasn't a suspect yet. This guy, apparently, he and his wife or girlfriend were stranded motorists, and the cops were pulling over. The state troopers, you know, the revenue generating agents, the road pirates, were pulling over to help the guy. But in order to help them, they needed the ID of the man and the woman. What's that a violation of? It's a clear violation of the person's Fourth Amendment right to be secure in his person. So they were there to make him insecure in his person when they're supposed to be upholding his anonymity. These cops were so nice and respectful. It's truly sad to see men like these hurt in the line of duty. Men like what? Men who are there to violate your constitutionally protected rights. More than that, your inalienable rights. All the guy needed was help as a stranded motorist. And as James Freeman pointed out, it's like seeing a girl in a bar and you're asking her, hey, what are your aspirations in life? Well, I'd really like a big family. And it's like, here, let me help you get started with that, and trying to lay her out in the bar to help her create a situation where she could have kids. That's not the kind of help anybody wants. The kind of help that these cops were giving this guy is not any kind of help anybody wants. The hilarious thing about James Freeman's last part of his video is I would rather have help from a crackhead, from a drug addict, from a gang member, not these gang members, but other gang members, than I would have help from these guys. Because they have this power that other people don't have. Because everybody else, all the lemmings, all the bootlickers, all the authoritarian pacifists, they want this kind of stuff to come upon you. So that gives the law enforcement in their mind the authority to do what they're doing. And they can justify all their criminal actions and label it as good and call themselves heroes, and the public will call them heroes as they're trampling everybody's rights. That is a dangerous power. That is a power the worst gangs in America or in the world don't even come close to having. Why? Because everybody knows the Crips and the Bloods are not a legitimate authority. Therefore, the people know they can fight back and are not only justified in doing so, but they know everybody else will clearly see that they have the right to fight back. With cops, on the other hand, most people are under the delusion that cops are legitimate, and anybody who fights against that thin blue line gang has to be a criminal. It's all a dangerous construct of belief, the belief in the legitimacy of government. These cops are so nice and respectful. Yeah, they were so nice and respectful that they offed the guy. Did the guy pull the gun out? Yeah, because he was being harassed. This is what you would expect to be done if anybody else tried to help you as you were a stranded motorist. What if somebody else who wasn't in a uniform treated these people exactly like the cops are treating them? Well, nobody would bat an eye at the fact that, you know, the woman got out, you know, some bear mace, and this guy got on a gun to protect himself. But because they have funny costumes and badges and come with the authority of the state, everybody all of a sudden says, oh, hey, these are our superheroes. These are the defenders of all that is good and right and noble. You can't take these guys out. They're good and nice and respectful. That trooper was far too patient with her Tough situation. This person says, my heart was pounding every time that girl went into her car, especially after her dude said, do it. Now, I'm not going to play any of this video right here because you know what happens when you do, but I will leave a link to the police accountability or police activity channel so that you can see for yourself exactly what happened. So this person says it's scary that there are people like him in our society living among us, instead of, man, it's scary that there are people like the road pirates in our society that are out there not serving and protecting, but harassing and collecting. Unbelievable how many crazy people there are out there. Yeah, like crazy people who wear costumes who think it's a good idea to pull people over in the dark of night and threaten them and violate their constitutionally protected rights. This one lost his life for nothing. He clearly looked for it. Let's hope the officers fully recover. What do you think about that statement? The look on that officer's face was shocking. I hope you get well soon, sir. I really hope videos like this are used for training future and current cops. Why? Because we need to keep them safe. We need to keep the road pirates safe. We need to make sure that the badge tyrants, the thugs, the blue line gang members act in such a way where that they can be a little bit safer so that they can go home to their families. Forget about the people that they're there to protect and serve. Look at this right here. Screwing over and attacking someone who stopped and took their time to help you in their time of need is just devilish, disgusting. The cop was helping himself to the freedoms of another man, and he didn't have to do that. Do you want to help somebody with a flat tire? Help somebody with a flat tire. Don't ask them for an ID. Don't ask them to be insecure in their person's house's papers and effects. Uphold your oath of office. The couple were both wanted on a New Mexico warrant from an incident last year. They had driven onto a man's property, started arguing when he asked why they were there, and fired 2 shots as they drove away. In the present case, she apparently hasn't been charged with the assault on the officer, but is being held for extradition. I don't know Illinois law on complicity, but it really appears she should be charged. So if it's true that they fired 2 shots on some guy's property, yeah, probably not a good idea to have somebody like that in society. I'm willing to admit that this guy right here is a criminal, but that doesn't make these guys right here any less of criminals. Great job, officers. You guys are true professionals. Treated them with respect while doing your job. It's not your job to violate constitutional rights. I pray for the healing of the other officer. There was absolutely no reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime to have to identify this guy. This violation of rights ended in death. The cops didn't know there was a warrant out for his arrest. He could have been perfectly fine in letting these people go. Maybe they did. Maybe the story is bogus. Maybe it's made up. Maybe it's hyperinflated, or maybe they are criminals. But I'm not willing to accept a broad brush violation of rights for all people just in case there might be some criminal out there doing bad things. Thank you, officers, for putting yourselves between innocence and evil, because that's what cops do. That's what heroes do. So I want to make it real clear before I end this video. I'm not for these people right here, and I'm not for the cops, but I do understand one thing: rights are important. And when you don't stand for your rights, you lose your rights. And when you lose your rights, you lose your freedoms, and therefore you lose your life. If you like this video, maybe you'll like some of my others. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. Check me out on Twitter and on Facebook. If you want to support the channel further, grab a hard-hitting conversation-starting design from the store. You can put on a shirt, hoodie, mug, cell phone case, whatever you want. I will see you in the next video.